A man stands alone while a crimson aura burns around him. He is surrounded by a mountain of corpses. A young man appears behind him. He says, Ash, why are you here? I told you to lead the Eastern Subjugation Force. Ash pauses and says, I came to take you down. The man slowly turns and stares at Ash. You planned to use my team as bait from the beginning, didn't you? Or am I wrong, father? The man smiles faintly. That's what the wingless are good for. Isn't that right, my foolish son, Ash Elmheim? The Elmheims, the greatest martial house on the continent, guardians of the royal family, and their leader, Duke Roderick Elmheim, the sole wielder of their power in the nation. Years ago, on a whim, he rescued Ash from a deadly blizzard. To repay that debt, Ash devoted everything to him. He followed every command, but life in the Duke's house was never easy. Ash was bullied, mocked by his siblings, because he was wingless. In this world, the wing crest holds magical power. The more wings you have, the stronger your abilities. But Ash had none. The only one in the Duke's family, without magic. Still, he trained relentlessly, believing that one day his devotion would be rewarded. But on the Eastern Subjection mission, his team was ambushed. Enemies began to surround him. They were used as baits by the Duke. Back to the present, Ash asks him, is this your answer for trusting and believing you? Roderick's voice is cold. What does a tool expect? Your purpose is served. Now disappear. Ash charges forward. He strikes, saying, I trusted you. What a fool I was. A shallow cut appears on Roderick's neck. The Duke smirks. Chains appear, instantly restraining Ash. His siblings emerge from the shadows. They cut his arm and leg. He screams in agony. He falls to the ground. One sibling laughs. You really don't understand, do you, brother? In the end, a wingless is just a wingless. 3 of them stand in front of him. Ash crawls forward. Why? Why take me in, if you were going to kill me anyway? Roderick looks down coldly. Don't flatter yourself. I never had any use for you. He grabs Ash's head, forcing him to look up. I only needed the power of the 7 wings inside you. Ash's eyes widen. The 7 wings? Roderick says your mother was useful. She carried the seed I needed. Everything was for this. Wait, what are you talking about? Answer me, Roderick. Their blade pierces him. Cold spreads through his body. Am I going to die? Then what was the point of everything I lived for? His vision fades. Blizzard intensifies. It's white and cold, yet strangely warm. Is this the afterlife? No, it's snow. He sneezes from the cold. Ash says it's real. Am I still alive? Where is this? And this tiny body, is it really mine? No, it's an infant. He looks beside him. A woman lies dead in the snow. His eyes begin to glow faintly. Voices echo in the distance. Search for the woman. She couldn't have gone far. We must retrieve the infant for Duke Roderick. Ash freezes. Duke Roderick? And an infant? Me? Memories collide. Ash remembers. That night he was also found in a blizzard just like this by Duke. Don't tell me I went back to the past. No, that's impossible. He hears the voices getting closer. No time to think. If I stay, I'll fall into his hands again. He starts moving. A faint aura surrounds his tiny body. His hands burn hot, melting the snow beneath him. He struggles to breathe. His limbs ache, but he keeps moving, saying, I will survive. He pushes forward again and again. He calls Roderick's name, but suddenly his voice fades and his eyes close. He collapses, unconscious in middle of nowhere. Someone approaches him. A young girl calls out, Over here, father. A man approaches. He is Viscount Highfried. Says an infant, and he picks Ash up. Why is a baby here? He notices something. Bruises and a long trail in the snow. His eyes widen in shock. This child came all this way. Just who is this child? Where am I? Ash's voice echoes faintly. This child. Has she come to take me? But she grabs his nose. Ash snaps awake. He is surrounded by a group of little girls staring down on him. They start pulling his arms and his legs like he's a toy. He is shocked, and Ash can't grasp what's happening. So he breaks free from them and starts crawling away. The girl shouts, catch him. They start chasing him. Ash's heart races. Why are they chasing me? As he tries to escape, a strange aura surrounds his body. It grows stronger, shooting Ash upwards, shattering the ceiling, floating in the sky. Ash says, I'm flying. But he can't control the magic power. The aura flickers. Wait, he starts falling from the sky. He closes his eyes in fear, but a man catches him and says now he is falling from the sky. What a peculiar child. He looks up. The man holding him is Duke Roderick's older brother, Viscount Highfried Elmheim. And this place is other Elmheim house. Ash's memories flood back. Highfried Elmheim is the head of the Viscount house. He was once known as one of the twin wings, alongside Roderick, protectors of the royal family. But in Ash's past life, Highfried died in a civil war, and with his death, the Viscount house collapsed. Ash stares at him. So it's true. I really went back to the past. But to think that while trying to escape Roderick, I ended up being picked up by his brother. A woman gently holds Ash while saying, "This child's magic went out of control and he flew into the sky." After saying that, she hugs him softly. "You must have been scared. It's all right now." Ash's eyes widen in surprise. Highfried looks at them with a smile, then says this child harbors great power. He turns Ash slightly, revealing his back. They see the 7 wings. Ash freezes. Why is it on my body? Ash suddenly remembers it. I needed the power of 7 wings. Roderick's voice echoes in his mind. I see now. So he saved me that day just to steal this power. Ash clenches his tiny fists in anger. And he called me wingless after tearing those wings by himself. How dare you? The Viscount's wife asks softly, "What will you do with this child?" Ash's thoughts race. This is bad. I can't let this power fall into the Elmheim's hands. I need it for my revenge. But Highfried speaks. I will adopt him. Ash freezes. What? He is still a fledgling, one who cannot fly on his own. I will take responsibility. Until the day he can fly on his own, I will take responsibility for raising him. The little girls falls inside the room. They were peeking from behind the door and listening to them because they were worried about Ash. One of them steps forward and asks Mother, "What is his name?" The woman smiles. "Let's see, Aster, the name of a new star, born into our family." Ash blinks. Asta, a new name, a new life. Time skip. 10 years later, a grand mansion stands tall. The Viscount walks forward. Behind him, a young boy steps out of the carriage. It's Aster, walking out like a full-fledged knight. Beside him, a girl walks out confidently. His sister Alphen, the same girl who once grabbed his nose. They have arrived at the Sword Dance Gathering, an annual event hosted under the Elmheim banner, where noble warrior houses gather to strengthen alliances and showcase their young swordsmen. As they enter, whispers spread. People say that the Viscount's people came again, still trying to embarrass themselves, and instead of an heir, they brought an adopted child with unknown origins. How much more do they want to drag down the Elmheim's name? Alphen speaks. Don't let it get to you. In this place, those who show weakness are crushed first. Asta glances at her hand. It's trembling. The Viscount speaks. This is our Viscount house's current position. I wanted you to see it. Are you disappointed? Asta smiles and says, "No, father. This cold reception feels just right." The Viscount laughs. That's reassuring. Asta says that. In my past life, as the Elmheim family's disgrace, my first appearance here was a complete failure. This place holds bitter memories. But now, I have my 7 wings. I'm different. His eyes looks up ahead. He notices his former siblings. Asta pauses for a second and walks forward in excitement. Now then, let's make a spectacular debut, shall we? Well, in an age where knights reigned supreme, knights were expected to possess both power and splendor. Power, through swordsmanship. Splendor, through fame. And what demonstrated both was the absolute family symbol, the wing crest. Alphen looks around. This place is as intimidating as ever. No wonder the others didn't want to come. Asta watches silently. Memories flash, his past humiliation. Alphen glances at him and asks Asta, "Are you nervous?" "It's your first sword dance gathering." Asta smiles faintly. "Not really. If anything, it feels nostalgic." Alphen is a bit worried. The Viscount turns to leave. "I must attend the conference." "Asta, take care of Alphen." Alphen pouts. "I'm older than him, you know. But your clumsy sister." The Viscount chuckles. "There are many nobles your age here. Try to make connections." Then his tone lowers. "And don't let anyone see the 7 wings." As soon as he leaves, the atmosphere grows cold. Asta says with such an openly hostile atmosphere, there's no way to make connections. Then he notices something. He starts walking. "Where are you going?" Alphen asks. He replies, "To make friends." Asta approaches a group. They ask, "Who are you?" He introduces himself. "Nice to meet you. Brother Darius. I'm Asta F. Elmheim, your younger brother. I saw you from outside, so I thought I'd say hello." The other brother says he is the adopted one. "From the Viscount house?" Darius smirks. "I see. So that's why you dare to call yourself F." Asta thinks back. In my past life, they seemed terrifying. But now, they are just spoiled noble brats. While Aster was spacing out, Alfin shouts his name and quickly grabs him. Come on, let's go back. You said hello, right? Darius says, hey Alfin, you're here too, and starts mocking her. What's wrong? Not hiding behind your father today? Come entertain us. That's an order from the main house. Alfin frowns. I refuse. There's no master-servant relationship between main and branch families. She pulls Aster away. Let's leave. But Aster says, wait sister, I'm still not done, but he notices her hands trembling. Darius laughs cruelly. Your father, despite being a knight, he failed to protect the king. As punishment, his arm was cut off by his own younger brother. I'm glad I don't have that loser's blood. Alfin rushes at him and shouts, take that back. Darius casually spits juice on her and continues to mock her. Only useless girls like you are born in that house. Your father must be disappointed. This isn't a ball. Next time, wear some rags. So you won't mind getting dirty again. Alfin trembles. She feels humiliated. Asta's expression darkens. I was worried and thought even after seeing your face I might not feel anger. He takes a juice bottle from others. But I'm glad. Then he calls Darius and throws the juice bottle at him. He catches it, and Aster cuts the bottle immediately, while thinking I'm glad that you're still the same trash, and making the juice spill all over Darius. Aster tastes the juice remains on his sword and says, just grape juice. That's perfect for little baby nobles. Don't you think so? Flashback. 3 years ago, Asta's power surges uncontrollably, going berserk. The Viscount trying to stop him and shouts, are you trying to kill your sisters, Aster? Get a grip, Aster. His sisters are crying in fear after seeing Aster like that. The Seven Wings' power keeps increasing. Viscount thinks this power, even I can't control it with my power. A servant bursts into the conference room, shouting, my lord, this is terrible. The sons of the Elmheim houses are dueling. The room erupts. Both Highfried and Roderick get serious. The Viscount stands instantly, and he rushes out and meets Alfin. While she is talking, the other house head says, look over here. A fight between the great Elmheim brothers. He says, depending on this ends, this sword dance gathering is going to get ugly. Darius says, some fool is picking a fight with us. The Duke's house, and then he shows off his crest. The crowd shouts it's the Four Wings crest, saying his power is on another level. Darius smirks. Now show me your wing crest. Or are you too embarrassed to show it in public? Asta tilts his head. You're right. Showing off a mere pattern so proudly is too embarrassing. I can't do it. Darius snaps. Asta steps forward. More importantly, if I win, you're apologizing to my sister, got it? Cousin. Darius says fine. But if I win, you become my dog. Match begins. Darius charges and attacks. Asta is pushed back, and he can feel the strength in that attack. Darius says this is the power of someone who has wings, and they start exchanging blows. Alfin watches anxiously. The match looks one-sided. A noble comments, Darius's swordsmanship is sloppy, but his magic is overwhelming. Darius says if one wing holds magic power of a candle, my 4 wings can cause explosions. And what happened to your bravado from before? You wanted me to apologize to your sister, right? Or was it all just talk? Then he shouts saying, show me your power. The crowd assumes that the match is decided, but Asta stops his blade. Darius gets shocked seeing it. Aster says you talk too much, and then he deflects it effortlessly, like it's nothing. These 10 years in the Viscount house, Aster trained to control this power, just for his revenge. Then he attacks Darius with full power, forcing him on his knees, and even his own younger brother is in shock seeing his brother being pushed back. And while being crushed, Darius says I have 4 wings. Asta steps forward and increases the pressure. Darius trembles. The crowd whispers. He is completely dominating Darius. Could he really win this? Does the Viscount house still have monsters like this? Asta goes berserk. Even the Viscount thinks this is bad. The pressure on Darius's sword keeps increasing. Memories flood back. The pain, betrayal, and humiliation, which triggers his powers, and then he loses his control. Darius's voice is trembling, asking Aster to stop. Even Alfin screams at Asta to stop. But the power explodes. Smoke fills the arena. Silence. Everyone is curious to see what happened. Then they see Darius lying on the ground, his sword shattered, his body trembling, and with his pants wet. Asta steps forward. Next time, you should wear some rags, so you won't mind getting wet, cousin. He starts to leave, and here Alfin exhales in relief. Thinking he didn't kill him, Asta turns and smiles at her. But suddenly, his expression changes. A terrifying aura spreads, covering the entire arena. Cold, heavy, everyone freezes. Asta slowly turns. Behind him, a man stands with crimson aura burning. It's none other than Duke Roderick Elmheim. The crowd whispers. The youngest son of the Viscount house defeated the third son of the main house. But this is bad. After having his reputation crushed like that, the Duke won't stay quiet. Asta stands calmly, unshaken. Darius, however, starts grinning. Both are looking at the entrance. A man steps forward. Duke Roderick Elmheim. His gaze locks onto Asta. Cold, displeased, but Asta's eyes are unflinching. And suddenly Darius rushes forward at Duke. Father, he's the one who defied the main house. Please, Father, show him your power. Put him at his place. A blade flashes. Roderick's sword pierces Darius' hand. The crowd freezes. What did he just do? Roderick's voice is icy. Why is the one who lost grinning? Darius trembles in pain. You dragged our family through the mud. One who cannot avenge himself has no right to wield a sword. He raises his blade to strike his own son. Stop, the Viscount shouts. But suddenly Roderick's blade stops. He narrows his eyes and sees Asta step in. Standing between them, he asks, what are you doing? Asta tells, my cousin still hasn't apologized to my sister. Could you delay his punishment until then, uncle? Hearing it, Roderick's expression darkens. I hear you were an orphan picked up by Highfried, and now you think you are an Elmheim? Asta says, I am the Viscount's son. Blood does not define everything. My father taught me the pride of a knight and the weight of a noble house. Roderick glances at Highfried. So you as a Viscount house member needlessly damaged the reputation of the main house. The 12,000 supreme knights under our banner. The pride as the king's sword. Do you think this can be dismissed as children's quarrel? Your father offered up one arm as the price for his disloyalty. Then what will you offer for yours? Asta answers, with all due respect, uncle, this was not a children's quarrel. It was a legitimate duel. I simply answered the insults thrown at my family with my sword. He steps forward. One who cannot avenge himself has no right to wield a sword. Those were your words, were they not? I have no intention of giving up even a single finger. Alfin trembles. The crowd is stunned. Roderick's eyes burn with anger. I see. He grabs his sword and says, then draw your sword. Asta reaches for his blade, but before he could draw his sword, Roderick strikes instantly. Asta is sent flying, crashing into the wall. Alfin is stunned. Highfried shouts Roderick's name and then attacks him, but Roderick blocks him effortlessly. The Viscount ignores him and looks for Asta and keeps on calling Asta. The smoke clears. Viscount is shocked after seeing him. Asta stands still. With his broken sword, blood runs down his face, but his eyes are still burning, still locked on Roderick. Unyielding, Roderick watches him for a moment, then turns away and leaves. He walks off with Darius. The tension slowly fades. Asta almost collapses, but Highfried catches him. Asta says, I protected it. My promise and everything else, father. Highfried's voice softens. You were magnificent. While Roderick was leaving, a noble says that was quite childish of you, Roderick. But if you had let that boy continue, the main house's reputation would have suffered. This was a decent compromise. But against Duke Roderick, he spoke boldly and survived. A promising rookie, a rising star. For that boy, this couldn't have been a better debut. Another noble speaks. I was worried that the Elmheims might split apart. Roderick stops and says the day will come. Soon enough. A storm great enough to split this world into 2 or 3 pieces. To be continued. Sayonara.